It is time for another anecdote. As you probably know by now, my channel is about fitness, yes. But the way it started was because of my PTSD. I found out that the more I ran, the more I exercised, the better I ate. I found out that the manifestations of PTSD were disappearing one at a time, little by little. And at this point in my life, 25 years later, after the diagnosis of PTSD, my day is not any different from anybody else's. There are days that are better than others, and I have sometimes ups and downs, but those days are not different from anybody else or anybody who did not suffer trauma. And to me, that is success. Having said that, I have my homework cut out for me for the rest of my life, which means I cannot drop the ball. Some people have the luxury of some things, doing some things or not doing others. I am not one of them because, like any other illness, you can relapse. You might have cured depression, but if you do not take care of your mind and if you do not exercise and if you fall back into your old ways, then I would imagine, yes, it will come back. So in spite of the fact that today my life is very normal and not different from anybody else's, they, meaning people who did not go through trauma, have luxuries that I do not have. I cannot drop the ball, let's put it that way. So I have to continuously work out. I have to watch what I eat and drink. I have to be very mindful of the people with whom I surround myself. I have to be very cautious about the way I live my life now. And that's perfectly fine because it's only making me healthier, actually. So having said that, I do have an anecdote for you. I remember a time when the four of us kids, I have two sisters and one brother, so there are four of us and I am the third in line. I remember a time when we all went somewhere to have a photo taken for my mother. You know, my mother and my father were there, yes, and they took their own photos separate from us, but the four kids were taking a photo together for the family, for my mom, as a present, I guess. And I will never forget when I looked at the photo. I remember even the positioning of the photo. I and my brother were in the front. By the way, my brother is younger than me. And the two older sisters were behind us. And when I looked at the photo, something just did not seem to be in harmony. Something seemed a little disjointed. And when I look, sure enough, my two sisters are wearing the very same outfit, just a different color. But they had the same sweaters, the same outfit, just they were wearing two different pastel colors. I was wearing a dress. I never got the memo. And I remember noticing that. And I do remember even one of my sisters mentioning something to the other sister, you know, and so they both showed up like that. And I just put it out of mind, you know, no big deal. I didn't give it a second thought. I also remember a time when this one guy went to Puerto Rico and he saw this beautiful painting, the Flaming June. She's lying on a sofa with red hair, and my two older sisters also happen to have natural red hair, whereas I took after my mom. I'm a brunette, but I have two sisters with red hair. And so Flaming June has red hair. And he is best friends with one of my sisters. And he knows all of us, all the girls. And my brother, my mom, dad, he knew everybody, every one of us. But I'm the only brunette of the girls, of the girls. So he went to Puerto Rico, he saw the painting, he picked up two of them. He picked up one for my sister, his best friend, But then he also picked up one for my other sister. And somebody mentioned, oh, well, they both have red hair. That's why they got the paintings. But then my mother says, well, I want one of them too. I want one of those paintings too. She wanted one. And somehow, you got it. She got it. A third one showed up somehow. And this was no small gift. This was a beautiful, large, very large painting. And it was actually framed in a golden frame, glass, matting. I mean, the whole thing. It was a high-end, expensive gift. So in my family, there were three delivered, three of them. My two sisters, and then my mom. So I guess the theory of, well, your sisters got those because they have red hair, and the Flaming June is a painting of a red-headed subject, goes out the window because my mother does not have red hair, and she got one of those paintings. So the only one left out of the entire gift was yours truly. And like these two happenings that I just mentioned, there were plenty. I can mention throughout my life hundreds of them. I would be here until the year 2035 telling you about them. What I'm telling you is this. When people show you who they are and how they feel about you, believe them. Don't fight it. Don't put on your pink colored rosy goggles. Just look at it for what it is objectively. Let people show you how they feel about you. Believe them, regardless of consanguinity or bloodlines. When they tell you, when they show you with their actions how they leave you out, or how they take jabs at you at every moment they can, and they do things of that nature, they are passive aggressive, and they say things, flying in the air, and you're thinking, did she just say what I heard her say? When you're scratching your head at times, believe those people. Believe them, how they feel about you. Don't fight it. Once you open your eyes and you forget or you neglect to think about consanguinity, familiarity, friendship, or anything silly that comes into the picture, when you remove all of that, what do you have left? You have left the actions, and actions speak very, very loudly. Those actions, however, say absolutely nothing, zero. They say zero about you, their target, and everything about them. So those petty actions, those small jabs, those, moments when they left you out of things, that passive aggression, that triangulation and attempt at manipulating you, leaving you out of things, and attempting to make you think that you got it all wrong. Listen to them and look at their actions. Do not fight it, and just take it for what it is. It says nothing about you, but it says a lot about them. Have a great rest of the week, and I hope you are enjoying my videos. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I appreciate it more than I can tell you. Have a great rest of the week.